This is the second video in a series of videos I'll be doing on a collection buy that I just did in Kansas in 2021, February. If you've seen the earlier video, I talked a little bit about how storing it in these thicker plastics pages can kind of damage the cards, especially if you store them upright instead of laying the binders flat. It looks like the Boba Fett avoided the worst of that, but I'll just dive right in and kind of see what cards are here. Sometimes there's multiple cards stacked behind. This one's actually real nice. That's an awesome card right there. And he's one being kind of the chase card from the Reflections 3 set. He's one that is always nice to get more copies of. Stormtrooper Garrison, looks like there's one copy, and Lord Maul, also one copy. So we got some shields here. You can kind of tell a little bit that there's that this is kind of concave, so some of these cards might be a little bit warped, but like for your starting effect, it doesn't really matter too much. There's a Force Push. That's definitely a chase card. We'll see how that one's doing. That also looks real nice. As far as I can tell, no warping, no bending, so good. The newer cards are in nice shape. Also a good card to have in multiples. Lets you deploy the Executor for free. Chewie, Lando. So it looks like all the main characters are here. No Leia, unfortunately. That's one of the better light side cards. And it looks like one copy of each. This was the beginnings of a set here. So definitely a partial set of Reflections 3. A lot of the big cards are here. There's a Han, Chewie, and the Falcon. This one was on the bottom, so I was kind of concerned about bending. Seems like it kind of takes the worst of the gravity down there. A bit of a warp, but not too bad. And great surface. So a little bummer about this collection, there wasn't much Coruscant, but the early sets there was plenty of mains. And it looks like there's a good amount too. At least there's a common and uncommon set here. Okay, so not the big characters, not even the Nemoidian guys, the leaders. Blockade flagship, no, but an AAT. So this looks like a common, uncommon set with a few random rares thrown in there. Actually, I'm not sure if I saw any rares definitively. It might just be a common, uncommon set. Kind of just assumed there were rares. Okay. So this might just be common, uncommon sets. I mean, a lot of good cards, but we'll speed through that a little bit. Some of these are good enough to sell as singles, like Wisa got a Grand Army and Boss Nass's Chambers. Those are huge for getting Force activation. Okay, now we're into the enhanced premiums. So Boba and Vader. Looks like there's two Bobas here. One on the top's real nice, one on the bottom. Some edge wear, but that's still a easily playable card, so I sell a lot of played cards at a discount. That'll go in that stack. Top one's real nice, though. Looks like all the premiums are together in here, so this is Enhanced Premier, this is Enhanced Jabba's Palace, also Enhanced Jabba's Palace. Official Tournament Sealed decks, they're all kind of mixed together there. Got some good cards. Some of the nice starships, always a fun card. Zuckuss, being able to make it so your opponent effectively draws no Battle Destiny unless they have very high... Ooh, there's a Han. Unless they have very high ability there. If you saw my last video, I was always nervous about the ones on the edges. They seem to get more of the wear. More of the bending, I should say. But this one looks nice. Good surface. That's straight out of the box, I'm sure. And a Leia in the middle. I used to have so much trouble keeping Hans in stock, and I had a few Leias, and then that kind of reversed. But that's a nice card. So this is a pretty cool page. Main characters all around. Luke's, Leia's, and Hans and Lando's. There's definitely one of the better pages in the collection. So a lot of premiums here. A very fun 0 or 7 card. Okay, now into the anthologies. So white border preview cards. And now we're into foils. Okay. Now that page is legit. Boba, 2 Vaders. Let's take a look at the Dark Lord of the Sith first. I hardly ever get the ultra rare one to his left in. Okay, and it's hard to tell here, but a lot of the Reflections foils, they have like faint vertical lines on there, and just with a soft cotton cloth, not damp, just dry, you can often just very gently rub off that. It's almost like that they fed it through a machine. Okay, you can see the line right there, and that just rubs right off fairly easily. But that is a nice condition card. Let's check out the Vader. He's on the bottom left, which is kind of the worst place for cards in terms of condition. Okay, he's got some of those vertical lines, but that is an excellent card. One that makes me glad I washed my hands before the video. Okay, very nice. I'll put him very gently back in, even if it makes the video take longer. Okay. So more characters. Definitely a cool set, Reflections. I actually have a binder where I have 9 of each card in there, and that's fun to just flip through sometimes. Took me a while to put all those together. That was when the cards were a lot cheaper, and I was buying Reflections booster boxes for under $100 each, and every Christmas and every summer my buddy Sean and I would open them up. So gosh, I don't know how many I went through, but I have a shoebox full of broken down Reflections 1 boxes. So I don't regret it though. It was too much fun to open those. Alright, ooh, we got an ultra rare Luke in there. Let's take a look at him. Looks pretty good to me. That's a nice card too. So the ultra rares, these were taken very good care of. The gentleman I bought this collection from, I got 2 sealed Reflections boxes with it, and he had opened 4, so I'm guessing a lot of these came from there. But, ooh, 2 Son of Skywalker foils. Very nice. I'm sure some of these have multiples. Like Obi-Wan feels like they're multiples. Obi-Wan being a super rare foil. There would be probably just a couple of him, yep. But these look like they all went straight from the box to the sleeves, so I appreciate that. A lot of cool light side characters. Put them all into Reflections. That's not a bad page either. Whoops, kind of sticking pages together. Okay, so looks like we're through Reflections 1. I didn't see any Reflections 2 boxes, so this will probably be pretty thin, but we'll see if there's any good ones. Okay, coming up on a Lando, I see him through the window there. Mara Jade's lightsaber, that's not bad. I'm actually running short on that. Lando and a Wedge and a Crix, so the Endor, Battle of Endor heroes. R2 in red 5, okay. So that's not bad here, those. And, Reflections 3 foils. These are some of the hardest things to get. Some of the hardest things for me to get back stock in my store. But looks like there's a couple nice ones here. So an Erica. It's Mara Jade in disguise. Looks good to me. Aura Singh, Destroyer Droid. Jabba, he's actually a very rare foil. So very rare being the least rare, believe it or not, super rare, and then ultra rare. Okay. So Chewie and Captain Panaka. This is a nice page. Japanese Luke, I've been totally out of him for a while. Japanese Luke foil, that is. Luke Skywalker Rebel Scout. So a lot of cards on this page are $20 plus. Same as on here. Oh, Padme, very nice. Is there 2 Padmes? It's so hard for me to get Padmes in. I think I might have 2 here. Okay, that's 3. Okay, that is very nice. Now I know why it's so hard for me to get them in. They were all in this collection. Those all look in very nice shape. Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that was the case. Japanese Obi-Wan. Japanese Wedge, for some reason I couldn't get in stock, although I was selling them super cheap before that. So very cool to have a bunch of Reflections 3 foils. The other pages I got were kind of more of a grab bag, so I'll get those out here. So look, there was lots of good stuff here. A lot of them were in sleeves, so I don't know if this was like reserves for deck building or what this was, but we'll go through. Oh, and it looks like we might need to check both sides for lots of these. So boba, that makes sense why there was only one boba in there. So I do wonder what the rhyme and reason to these are, but lots of good, I mean, makes sense in terms of theme. There's officers and stuff. Aliens. Commander Igar foil. Makes me think of Young Frankenstein. Is it Igor or Igor? Oh, okay, there's a Vader. He's beat up, but if you're looking for a play copy, this is the one. Yeah, it looks like these sleeves are just a bit too big. So he's actually not as bad as I thought. It's pretty much just, I mean, the top edge is pretty atrocious, but I mean, if you're somebody looking for a discounted version to put in your deck, that's the copy for you. I'm sure he'll be up on my eBay store in no time. An old virtual card there. Guri, nice. Jabba and a foil Jabba. So some commons and uncommons. There was a Lando there, but okay. I was not expecting that. That other one in the binder was pretty beat up. But let's see here. I did get a pretty good list of cards in advance. But honestly, off the top of my head, I'm kind of forgetting which ones were which. I kind of make my offers based on spreadsheets. Alright, so the sleeves are, it says 2 sleeves or 1. It looks like a double sleeving going on. This is quite a, okay. So hopefully that didn't influence the Vader at all. It was pretty soft, so let's hope it didn't. So the other one we got was kind of beat up, but this one looks real nice. At least on the front. Did anything happen on the back? Not really. Okay. That's a nice card. That's a relief, because that, if you saw my other video, the Lord Vader definitely got dinged by the binder. Just the rings itself. A couple of decent cards there. So this is all just characters so far. We're coming up on 12 minutes, so I will keep moving through to see if anything astounding catches my eye. So Jabba's Palace. There's an extra Watto. I'll take an extra Watto. He's an interesting card. Interesting deck theme that no money, no parts, no deal. Tractor beams, can always use more tractor beams. Now we're into the effects and stuff, so this will probably get a little bit less exciting, but I haven't seen the light side yet, so we'll see. Every now and then, though, you find a $20 effect or interrupt, and that's always nice. And sometimes you even find them in the commons and uncommons, because people don't know that Rebel Leadership or Imperial Command or whatever is a chase card that in certain decks you want to have 3 copies of. Sometimes more. I think my Quiet Mining Colony, the Cloud City deck, has 5 copies of it. Ooh, okay, there's a card. Phantom Menace. It's a foil. Alternate image foil, so just a cool looking card in general. And okay, so kind of a dinged corner, we can see it up there. And a little bit of warping going on. But that's one of the cards that's nice to have in multiple quantities in a deck. So just with one corner ding, that's not that big of a deal for playing. Definitely not a collector card, though. So into some purple cards now. Oh, interrupts too. Cool looking card. They turned that into a character, a Stormtrooper squad for the virtual game. Just looking to see if we find any of those crazy interrupts that people can't get enough of. Endor foil. That's nice. And heck, I'm going kind of fast. If you see one that I missed, do let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to know. I'll be taking all these out and sorting them eventually, but usually I feel like I have a pretty good eye for knowing which ones are which. A lot of sites and locations. Ooh, there's a Death Star too. I guess I'll show the back side of that one just in case. And that's actually a pretty good card too. A 2-0 site. Alright, let's check out this Death Star 2. That's a nice card. And back in you go for now. But that is not bad at all. Foil Death Star 2 Throne Room. Executor sites now. Cantina. I got plenty of cantinas. Okay, here's some purples, some objectives. I usually store them 0 side up, so it's kind of fun to see the 7 side up. I know what it looks like, but I don't think about it often. Foils, ships here, foil executor, okay. And I don't think I showed the back side of that previous one. So a Dominator and a Dengar in punishing one. Saber, an extra Saber 1, nice. So a lot of the Death Star 2 ties and a Slave 1 we saw there. Blizzard Scout 1, I'm always short on those. It's a decently playable card. Getting into the weapons now. Will we see any lights? We will see a lightsaber. Darth Vader's lightsaber. Gotta have a Han Seeker. Mara's saber, Maul's saber, nice. And into the couple Japanese foils. These are both Reflections 3 cards. Got just a bit more here. Okay. Well, maybe more in a bit. I guess I got 2 stacks, but they're not as big as the other ones. So this is kind of, I wonder if there's anything on the back of these. I'm not sure what these are. This doesn't seem like the light side equivalent of what we just went through. It's kind of odds and ends, and it looks like this is all face up, so I won't flip these over. Okay, Obi-Wan saber. Death Star. So there might be multiple copies stacked in here. I wonder what that's about. Is this all punishing ones? Looks like it is. Okay. Nice. Foil, non-foil, white border. Always good to have that variety. That way I don't have 16 white borders in stock. Well, I guess it'd be 16 black borders and 2 white borders. There's a main character, a Leia. Nice. Red 2. Always good to get a New Hope rare 1. Especially with a lot of people collecting sets now, it's hard to get those. Okay, so these are all pretty much all rares. I guess I haven't been paying attention to rare or not, but everything I'm seeing now is rare or foil. So just all a big bunch of pages of extra rares is nice. It does seem like he picked the rares out of the common and uncommons pretty well, and that's alright. Just means that I won't get my hopes up too high when I'm going through the commons, uncommons. Foil Chewie and a black border Chewie. Han. Tarkin, okay. This next page looks like it might be pretty good. Oh, I see, the Leia was behind it, but Slave 1. Just IG-88 all on his lonesome there. Coming up on a Jabba and a Dengar. C-3PO. Okay, there's a page. C-3PO, R2-D2, and Red 5. And closing out on a good one, too. Executor, Houndstooth, and General Veers. Okay, I got one more stack here. Okay. And now that I think about it, I got a binder, too. So this binder he said he picked up for $3. I'll probably go through this now. I didn't think there was anything too good in here, but we'll at least flip through. It'll fit better in this video than in others. I think this was the beginnings of a premier common and uncommon set, just from what I saw flipping through it originally. So, okay, so nothing too good there, but hey, we'll check out this next page, set of pages. Okay, so there's going to be fronts and backs here. So this is the light side equivalent of the dark side stuff we saw before. Nice. Oh, wow, okay. It's basically the big ones from the light side of that set of Tatooine. Interrupts and stuff. So it seems like there's less light side cards overall, unless they were mixed in, or unless I saw some light side in that other stack that I didn't think of at the time as being light side, I should say. Another Corellia, awesome. Some dark side mixed in here, so Death Star 2, so just all sorts of stuff. It's kind of exciting to flip through here and not know exactly what you're going to end up with. Okay, well, so a lot of good stuff there. Went through it kind of fast. I'm sure when I go through it again, I'll be pleased with what I find, especially since there seems to be multiple cards in here in a lot of cases. So that was the second video in this series. I'll be doing a couple more, one over the sealed, one over highlights that I find in the commons and uncommons. Hopefully I'll find some rares in there, but probably at least a couple more videos coming down the wire. Hope you enjoyed this one. It's been fun going through the collection, and I hope you check out my subsequent videos. Thanks.